What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Humble Warrior checking in with you. I just want to do a recap of the games from yesterday's wild card Saturday. The Bills were victorious 27-24. The Rams beat the Seahawks 30-20, and the Buccaneers were successful over the Washington football team 31-23. I did want to talk about the Washington game because, as you know, Chase Young stated that he wanted Tom Brady. He severely underperformed in that game. From what I had saw, he made little to no impact. Um, it was almost like, I guess, either somebody had talked to him before the game started, or they just took his will completely away because I saw one tackle that he made, but the rest of the way, I don't even think he registered another tackle at all throughout the entire game. So in my mind, uh, that's why when you actually talk smack, it's best you actually back it up, or at least get close to backing it up. Because if not, then it makes you the talking point of the next day. So, or really Monday, he's gonna be the vocal talking point because of what he said. So it's like, um, to save yourself the embarrassment of being that, it's best that you make the biggest impact possible to give your team the greatest chance to win. To Washington team's credit, they did perform offensively. Um, I think they racked up maybe 300-400 yards of total offense against the Buccaneers, especially passing wise. I think the quarterback had over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, I believe. I got to look it back up because I didn't follow his stats all throughout the game, but he had a pretty good game. Um, he was hitting wide open receivers. He was throwing the ball in tight spaces and stuff like that, and he was getting out of harm's way a lot. So to his credit, he performed pretty damn well. Could Haskins have done better? I don't think he could have, which is probably why they released him. So, um, like I said, to their credit, he did well. However, I do think they have to get a legitimate running game. Um, they may need to think about getting another quarterback because the one they got, he's okay, but he's not the future. So they may need to look into possibly drafting or going up in the draft to get one of those dynamic quarterbacks that's coming out right now. But um, with all that being said, those are the scores from yesterday. Um, and I did want to talk about the Bills and Colts game. So if you guys been looking at my videos from earlier, I had stated that the Dolphins had no rushing attack. It was non-existent. The Colts racked up they actually racked up close to, I think, 150, 160 total yards on the ground rushing. You know, they kept a well-balanced attack. Phillip Rivers threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and um, the entire time they kept the Bills' defense honest. Um, they didn't have to worry about just relying on strictly Phillips, even though he threw the ball 46 times, I think, yesterday. But nonetheless, uh, Jonathan Taylor Jonathan Taylor had close to 100 yards, and Hines had almost, I think he had either 50 or 70 yards rushing. Um, the balanced attack works. Um, it actually helps keep the defense honest. It keeps their blitzing pressure and stuff like that completely down because they don't know if you're gonna go from a run to a pass or a pass to a run. So my argument was the Dolphins is looking to get a running back because when Gaskins was on the field, he barely got 2 yards a pop. Is it all his fault? No. But some of the runs he made, or some of the runs he attempted, I saw where the hole was open on the outside. For some reason, he just don't have that pop. He can't put a foot in the ground and change directions. He can't do it. So you need to look into, I'm not saying trading him, but I'm saying looking into getting a running back whose vision allows him to pop to the outside or pop inside that hole and keep going and accelerating through the hole, not tiptoeing and running like a slug. So look to get a dynamic running back in this draft. I mean, there's a variety of them, but me personally, if it ain't Travis Etienne, then I'm getting Najee Harris if he's still on the board, which he should be still on the board. So it would help to also have receivers that can actually separate and not only separate but actually catch the ball. Because the tight ends yesterday from the Colts, they caught every ball damn near that Phillip Rivers threw. Whether they had one play where Tre'Davious White was all on the tight end Dole, and he still caught the ball. I'm talking about he was on the back of his back, and he literally submerged the ball in his stomach, caught it, cradled it, and went to the ground for a first down, a crucial first down of that on third down play. Do I think Gronkowski can do that? Absolutely. I feel like he's a definite mismatch for most linebackers and DBs. But he has to have that receiver on the outside that can make the other safeties honest, to keep them on their toes, to get them something else to look at outside of watching him, which will give Tua the advantage to look off the safety and then hit Gronkowski going down the seam or over the middle, for a modest gain. Modest meaning, 15 to 20 yards, sometimes 30. But it would give an opportunity to be more effective in the passing game. It also boosts his numbers. Because, quite frankly, I think Tua was averaging 160 a game, which is pedestrian at best. But in his defense, if your receivers can't catch the ball or they can't get no type of separation at all, then you throwing that shit into a keyhole and praying that it works. And too many times this past season, that's what he found himself doing. So you really think he's going to last much longer in the league doing that? No. He's not going to last. I mean, I'm not saying he got to have a Randy Moss, but at least give me something to fucking throw at. You know what I'm saying? Allow me to show you that, hey, I can put the ball in the money and you still can be running after the catch. But don't get to the point where I gotta keep throwing that shit in press tight coverage, and then when you drop the ball, it's on me. It's another incompletion on my behalf. Because my job is get you the ball. Your job is to make a play with the ball. That means catch it and make somebody miss, and then get up the field to get another first down or possible big gain or even possible touchdown. Makes sense. But too many times this season, he found himself having to drive the length of the field. There's nothing wrong with that, though. It actually helps. But every now and then, it's nice to get a big play, you know what I'm saying? 30, 40-yard touchdown, just to get the crowd fired up. But if we just get 1-yard touchdowns or 3 or 4, 5-yard touchdowns, it's good to score, but it's not the same excitement as a 40-yard fucking catch and run, or even a 40-yard rushing touchdown. Tua didn't get that. He didn't get it. So I'm not pleading, but I'm saying that as the Dolphins organization goes into this upcoming draft, they have to think about how to get the offense much more improved than what it already is. How to make it elite. That should be the number one priority, is making the offense elite, because defense, granted, yes, it does have issues. The defensive line is trash. They can't generate enough pressure without a constant blitz package, which to me leaves the middle of the field wide the fuck open because there's nobody there. So if you can get that force up front, then you can actually generate the pressure to go after the quarterback without having to use your linebacking core or even your DBs. So they got much more to deal with than just replacing, or quote unquote replacing Tua. Because Tua wasn't the issue. Did he have his moments as a rookie? Absolutely. He had 2 games where he threw under 100 yards. But at the same time, when you got a young ass offensive line, and then you don't have much of a separation factor going on, or you don't have many lanes to put the ball through, And just like somebody sent me the video about the Raiders game, it was only like one or two passes I saw that he should have made in terms of like letting the ball go. But outside of that, like he reads a coverage just like I would. If you see the corner running with the running back over the top, 9 out of 10, it depends on the corner. If they see you throw that ball into that open space right there, they may break on that ball. So if he picks it off, is that your fault? Because the corner has his back tilted, but his back is not turned. So if he actually looks at the ball, the quarterback, when that quarterback releases the ball to go into that hole, he can break on that ball. Now, if you miss the pick and it's a completion up the field, great. But the purpose of that is not to put yourself in a situation where you can't get that pass off. So, you know, is that really the quarterback's fault? I mean, to me, like I said, he's been doing the best he actually can. And he needs a legitimate weapon to allow him to develop and grow into the elite quarterback I know that he can be. If I felt like he was going to be a bust or a waste of time or whatever, then I wouldn't be sitting on my damn channel supporting Tua. I'd be like, look, man, you get his ass out of there. And it has little to nothing to do with the fact that he played Alabama because, yeah, I got excited when he came, and yeah, I'm happy that he made plays for us and gave us a national championship or helped us win it. But at the end of the day, that boy has natural talent you can't deny. So it's not like you can write him off. People look at Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and be like, well, he's not 6'4". He doesn't have a strong arm, blah, 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 blah. I didn't realize you have to have all that to be a great quarterback. Because that's the case, Peyton Manning he ain't got a real strong arm. But he had intangibles like a motherfucker. He was able to read defenses and just eat them up for years and years and years and years until he finally retired. So Tua doesn't have to be the next Dan Marino, period. Period. But off the Tua soapbox for now. Like I said, today they have the Titans and Ravens, the Browns and Steelers, which should be a good game, and the Bears and Saints, which that should be a good game as well. My predictions, I think the Titans should win today. I'll get them a score of 23-17. The Saints are gonna win. I'm actually gonna say the Saints are probably, depending on who the quarterback is. If it Breeze, they'll probably score 30. So I say 30 to 20. And the Browns and Steelers, I'm surprisingly gonna give it to the Browns today. I feel like they have enough to win, and I think Baker's hungry enough to get this playoff victory. I feel like that. So I'm going to give it to the Browns today. I'm going to say Browns win 20 to 17. 20 to 17, Cleveland Browns win. My predictions aren't that great, so it's just my opinion. That's all it is. Will I be right? Probably not. But hey, I gave you a score. So I'll be giving you guys updates on the game as it goes along today. I'll probably put another video up tomorrow about the games. When I get off work, actually, I'll probably talk about it then. But anyway, guys, peace.